Right, the next rig I'm going to talk about is quite a controversial rig. It's the 360 rig. Now, some people like it, some people don't. What I will start off by saying is it isn't for every fishing situation. Mouth damage does occur occasionally with smaller fish. I've used these type of hooks on and off for quite a long time. It's what we call the Series 5 or the long shank nailer, that sort of hook. And I generally fish for big fish, and mouth damage doesn't occur. Now, you have got to be quite stern with a fish when you're playing them. You know, you're not letting them on for hours where the hook's moving about and twisting. As long as you're fishing for a decent stamp of fish, mouth damage doesn't occur in my opinion. The other thing is the swivel on it. If you get that caught in the landing net, do not pick the landing net up, because that also, I've seen that cause mouth damage myself. Anyway, that out of the way, the 360 rig is a brilliant rig when used in the right situation. It creates a really, really low pop-up rig. So it's a pop-up but very, very close to the bottom, literally the length of the shank of the hook. And when you're fishing over tight beds of bait, it's a great way to fish. Right, so I've got my hook threaded onto a size 11 ring swivel. You can change the hook on these when you need to, if you need to. It just sits there on the eye, rests nicely. I've got a rig bead, another rig bead, and in between that I've got this little D-ring with a bait screw. No need for bait floss, you know, piercing the bait, anything like that. Just thread the pop-up directly onto that. I was a little bit sceptical of these at first, but now that I've used them a couple of times, really happy with them, and I won't go fishing without them. Thread it right down onto there. To balance that, I've got one of the Taska. It's actually a chod bead, tungsten baseline range. Now, you can use them on like naked chods, hinge stiffs, but it's great for this. It just sits nicely over that knot, and it just keeps that pinned out the bottom. Now, I use this rig with a bit of fluorocarbon. This is a quite stiff 20-pound fluorocarbon. It just helps propel the rig as far away from the lead as possible, just so that you're fishing at its maximum efficiency. So when the fish picks that up, literally as soon as that's landed in the fish's mouth, it's in contact with the lead. Now on this, I've got a couple of the large Taska baseline sinkers. They're great, these sinkers. I used to use little bits of putty, you know, they'd come off on a bit of weed, they'd come off on a casting. 9 times out of 10 you wouldn't even know if you were fishing with them or not, but they just keep everything pinned down. I fish this on a lead clip. A lot of people fish it on a helicopter. I favour a lead clip. Much more hooking potential with a lead clip in my opinion. So these are the Taska lead clips with a ring swivel incorporated in it. So just tie that with a 3-turn blood knot onto there. And that, in my eyes, when used in the right fishing situation, is deadly and as safe as possible.